The black belt itself is kind of meaningless, the material part of it, but the meaning behind it, without sounding corny, like how many nights I've ran in stairs and how many times I've driven across the country, or how many times I've cried from losing matches, how many times I've said no to things, and how many serious injuries and surgeries I've went through, and breakups, and you still have to train, and deaths in the family, you still have to train. And so many people quit after an injury, or after a death, or after a new job, or after they move. There's so many reasons not to go back, and I always went back no matter what. We are on our way to weigh-ins for one of my fighters, Logan Bond. It's in Springfield. He's fighting for Premier Fighting Championships. Then we're going back to another fight. We're going to CES for Alex Ballou and Matt Bissett. What type of kid was I? I was a happy but super energetic and risk-taking, and I would find myself in situations all the time that were not good. I was getting into a lot of trouble, but I wasn't a bad kid. I just wasn't thinking, and super impulsive. Wrestling completely changed my life and completely changed me forever. Shahzad Ahmadi was my high school science teacher. He was a really unique guy, and he asked me to come out for the wrestling team. I had no idea how accomplished he was, and I ended up finding out that he was a multiple-time world champion, multiple-time national champion, and then he had introduced me into Aníbal Nieves, who I traveled to Puerto Rico with a couple times, and he was an Olympian. Nothing of what they ever said wasn't backed up by their actions, and they always talk about a big goal as if it was just this easy thing you could get to, because they'd done it so many times, where I was like this young, impulsive, crazy, out of my mind. And I started to realize those actions weren't aligning with what my goals were. College wrestling was life-changing. I'll never be the same human after that. That was so hard. Making weight twice a week was brutal. I was in grad school wrestling at 133, so I was waking up, getting an early morning workout in with either a coach or on my own. So 6 a.m. I'm up, and then following that, I'm in class. Need to maintain a 3.0 for my major, so I'm in class. Sometimes you're getting another workout in if you have a match that day. And if I don't have a match, I'm studying. And then you go back to class, and then you have a 2-hour practice where it's an absolute war in the room almost every day. Then you go to lunch, you measure your food, you go home, you weigh your food, and then you eat it. You work out again, you go back to the gym, work super hard, whether it's sub 6-minute miles and then a circuit workout, and then you do it again 2 or 3 more times. Then you go home, you study, and you prep for your day, and then do it again. Me and my teammates were just crushing ourselves and learning about the darkest places of your mind sometimes. I'm pretty intense in competition. I expect stellar performances every time I step on the mat. It doesn't always happen. We're fallible, so we all make mistakes, but generally speaking, I'm a really fierce and intense competitor. My title fight for reality fighting was what people recognize as my most intense moment. I trained super hard, and I got myself mentally in a space where I was 100% committed to leaving with the belt or leaving on a stretcher. I know it sounds silly, but that is the commitment you need to make. I came out there with the worst intentions and went to war with this dude. Broke my foot, broke my nose, fracture in my cheek. The cheek happened in the first round, and I finished him in the third. I just wouldn't stop walking forward. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm feeling it right now. Winning Worlds this year would be the perfect way to go out, but I'm not even putting too much weight on that. When I go there, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna try to rip somebody's fucking head off. But even if I don't place, I had a phenomenal career, but this would be the Cinderella story. This would be the way to close out my career, is to be on that podium or win the tournament. If I do it, then fantastic. That's so cool. But if I don't, I still did everything right for almost all of my career, and I'll still be proud.